recording. So welcome to the 5G Go Zone. And today we are going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things, everything to do with mobile apps. And as we always like to start with the 5Gs, which are our gratitude. And today I am just grateful for this beautiful sunshine that's out here where I'm at today, and the fact that I get to work with clients every single day and help them take their visions and bring it to life. And what I've got is knowledge and things that I want to share. And that's what I also want to give. I want to give my knowledge to help people be able to take their mobile app to levels they never even thought of before. And today I want to get is some feedback. And I've already gotten some feedback about this group and where we're going. And anybody who's listening to the recording, if you have some feedback about our group, I would love to hear it and welcome for that. And growth, I want to start growing this group, invite anybody in that you think would benefit from this, because we do talk marketing in general. They do not have to have a mobile app. They can just be thinking about one, or they can be using third-party apps to be able to grow their business. So whether you have an app, have an idea, want to use third-party, or you just want to get some marketing ideas, that's how I would like to grow. So Lorenzo, how about you? What are your 5Gs? What's your gratitude?
Well, I'm just super happy to be healthy and happy and focused on life. I've had some bad news for a couple of friends of mine this last 2 days. So just, having my health, being able to be part of the show, part of what we're doing, working with you, Nancy, I'm incredibly grateful for that, and our customers and our friends. So I'm super grateful for those things. What I want to give also is my knowledge, my awareness, my ability to support and love on people. What I've got is really tremendous number of years of experience, and I've got more new tools, more new things. So I've got a bunch of really fun things to talk about as we go through the next few months. What I want to get is the ongoing opportunity to serve. So to me, this is just giving these kind of messages and working with everybody. And then more importantly, what I want to do to grow is grow this community. Grow the businesses that I'm in, and grow a new business that we're starting, which is a Convergent Seminar. So really excited about all those things, and more importantly, just excited to be here with you, Nancy, as always.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, Janae, let's talk about your question today. If you want to go through your 5Gs, I think a couple of them are all the same. What you're grateful for, what you got, what you're giving. Go ahead, and then we'll keep going.
Well, I'm like you. I'm grateful for the sunshine today. Like, it's really nice outside. I'm excited about that. But I'm the app, I just feel like it's something that I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm very grateful for just the idea, and then people like Nancy who believe in the vision I have for my app, and then just people you put in place to help us get it done. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm just also very nervous, some frustration, all of these emotions that's coming with the app. So that's pretty much where I'm at today.
Excellent. And yeah, obviously we know that you want to get some feedback today on your app. And we also know that your growth is 100% because your app hasn't actually officially launched. We're right debating on that beta stage. So Lorenzo isn't up as much on your app as I am. So this is good because we're going to get some fresh eyes here. And I would like you to share what your question is, your concern, and let us help you kind of walk through that without it being, I love the developers you're working with, but this is going to give you some fresh eyes.
Okay.
On your burning issue and question. So go ahead.
Okay, so you want me to go to development or the testing part first? Which one should I start?
Which one is more concerning for you?
They kind of go together. So I'll start with the part that he wants me to present to your son's school. Mm-hmm. And I disagree. Mm-hmm. So I would love to hear what Lorenzo thinks about that, and I'll tell you why I disagree, because I just feel like it's not something that is ready. That's just how I feel. I feel like they because they're the developers and maybe they've been doing this a long time, but I just feel like I don't want to go put myself out there and it's not something that I'm proud of yet. It's just I personally feel like it's just not there. Like it's the, you know, I still want Margot new designs. They're not done with that. Haven't even started because the last meeting we had on the phone with Benny, he was trying to get me to not do the milestone page. And Lorenzo, the milestone page is the page where if a person creates a plan in the app, it's laying out the next steps for that person to complete.
I'm gonna stop you right here for 1 second. I need you to back up just a little bit and tell Lorenzo what your app is all about, because I don't know if he remembers. He's been working with so many clients and so many people. So let's narrow in on exactly what your app does, what your vision is, and then it'll make more sense to him.
Okay, so the app is what's next. So when a person is in high school or just in the transition part of their life where they're not sure about what they want to do next in life. So you get on the app, it has five things you can go to. So you can only go to college, take up a trade, go to the military, start your own business, or go to work. So you can click on 5 of those things and each thing will have exactly what you need to do to go to college. So you can research college tab because you can research or look at where's the trades or labor unions in your community. If you was looking at jobs, it'll have links to go to the different sites for that. So it's pretty much, it's supposed to be what's next. So that means like it's no excuse. It lays out everything you need to do to be successful in that space. And so that's pretty much the gist of it. And I really want to market my app to like high schools, kids getting ready to transition out, or people coming out of jail, even like social work with the bureau or things like that, where you're working with parents that just needs to get a job or do something different, you know? So I really want the app to make it where that person has no excuse. You literally could just get on there and just do research, or you can create a plan which will lay out the next steps of what you're going to do. So if you chose college, it's going to say like you need to, you know, enroll in college. So you go on the MATC. Then you need to complete your FAFSA. You need to get your books. You need to do your classes, or, you know, so then it could you can hit the tab to say completed that milestone and it'll say congratulations or whatever. So that's the part that me and Benny was disagreeing on. Benny thinks that the milestone page should be able to type in the next steps. And to me, I want certain things like just permanently in the app. And so he wants to not do that page right now. He thinks we should just do some testing first and then decide what we're going to do. And I'm like, I think we can do it both ways, where if the administrator, so like the guidance counselor, wanted to type in specific things for that person to do, that they have the ability to do that, or like, but either way, I just feel like you can't have the user type in what they're going to do next because they don't know. And that's the point of the app. So that's where me and him was disagreeing on that part. So we haven't signed the new proposal yet, or the new invoice or whatever, because we were stuck right there.
Got it. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's much more helpful. Appreciate it. All right. So the question on the table is what to do next. Like what to do next. That was supposed to be funny.
Well, that is the question a lot of the students have. And Janae, was he asking you to do nothing and just take what is there right now the way that it is? Or was he saying, let's do a little bit to clean some stuff up and then present it?
He's, I think he wanted me to present the way it is now, and that's not going to happen. I'm not doing that because it's just not, it's not what I want. So I don't want to go stand in front of somebody and pretend like it's what I want. It's not. So I'm not presenting it until it's where I want it to be. Like, that's just it. So that's why I never even said anything to you about it, because it's, so he's going to clean up a lot of the stuff, like to put Margot Designs in there. but until that happens, I'm not presenting it. Like I'm not. The way it looks, it's confusing. Like Lorenzo, Margot is the person that does the designs for apps, and initially, I think Benny felt bad because he felt like he should have started with Margot. So we didn't pay out, maybe like $20,000 for what we have, and I'm not satisfied with it. So then he had to go back and because his other developer did the whole app, and I'm like, nope, I don't like it. And then he had to go back and get a new designer, which is Margot, and she did a fantastic job of redoing everything. But to redo all her designs is going to cost us, what was it, $10,000, Nancy? I think it was.
I think that was where we were at on that. Now, do you mind if I actually show Lorenzo the app itself?
Please do.
Okay, so let me share my screen here because I think that will help quite a bit.
Yeah, while Nancy's doing that, the other question I think what's really critical here is when you look at, getting feedback, and that's really, I think, the question on the table is trying to get feedback, trying to get information, and understanding what the app is and how you can move it forward. So one of the things that we're really going to want to do in conversation is, as we look at the app, we also really want to focus on what's the right approach to getting feedback in order for you to get the clarity that you want. You've got a business issue that's separate from, from getting feedback on the app. So go ahead, Nancy, show me what you got and let's talk.
Yeah, because that's exactly it. It's the whole goal here of everybody, and everybody agrees with this piece, is to keep the money down while we go through the testing so that we can take feedback that's coming in and then make adjustments. We don't want to make a whole bunch of adjustments to find out that the community doesn't care for it, right? For your audience. Mm-hmm. So other than a login screen, when you log in, this is exactly what comes up.
Okay.
And then you would just hit add a plan. And then they have these generic groups here, right? So let's just say I wanted to be a doctor. Now I've got all of these that would fall in line with the doctor. And I can, and please stop me, Janae, if I'm not doing everything correctly, because it's been a little bit since I've been in your app. And then we can also go back to exploring more plans if I didn't like those. So let's say that what I would prefer to do is, now I seem to be in the medicine here. Here we go, software. So now I can actually add this plan and I can just, see what's in it, right? Where everything is. I can edit this if I want to add some more items to this, I can. And if I want to set up my own milestones, I can do that. And then I can save. And then I can go back to plans. And now I can add another plan. I had to hit back, sorry. And so let's just say, okay, so why is it, I'm not liking this part. Okay, see, this is what Janae is saying. So now I have to go to explore again, and that wasn't real clear. And I've been working with this app a little bit. That wasn't real intuitive, but that's the kind of feedback you want, Janae, is from your audience. So let's say I want to be a dental assistant now, and I can edit it if I want, and then I can save it. And now I can go back and there's my 2 plans that I have. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much the only thing this app will do right now. Is that correct, Janae?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I wanted to show my screen so I can show you guys the new design.
Sure, go right ahead.
I'm just
you should be able to share from your phone because I was just I'm not sure if I've got all the new designs from Margot here or not.
Where do I go to? Okay, here we go. I think it's share.
Got it?
Here. Share screen. Here we go.
There you go.
Start now. I don't know. Can you, nope, I'm not sharing. Hold on. Do I click the dots at the bottom or do I click?
Lorenzo, on the phone app, where,
Yeah,
I
I
think it's
don't know
under
that
the
you can
dots.
ever be able to share from a phone specifically.
You can try the three dots, try the dots, or it
would
might
the
be up
dots
in
on
the,
bottom.
or it might be up on the top.
I see chat, request, transcript, meeting settings, minimize meeting, background filters, raise hand.
Try on top and see.
Okay, start recording or casting the Zoom. So okay, start now. Okay. There we go. Nope, I think I got it.
Something's working.
There you go. There you go.
Check you out.
So here's the new design. Can you see it?
Yep, we saw a screen come in. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so that home screen, so after you log in, this is the screen that Margot designed. I like this so much better.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
And then this will be how the layout was for the plans, because I feel like on the one that we were just looking at, it's not organized, it's not neat, it's just all jumbled up. And so then when you click the milestones here, you can even click this and it says congratulations, and you can share it, you know, that you completed a task, you know, like, so you can share it on other social media platforms or something like that if that's what they wanted to do. You can edit the plan, share the plan, or delete the plan. What else did this one do that I really liked? It has the search thing at the top still. I don't even know how to get out of this stuff. Okay, so you have the search tab. So if you just wanted to look straight up here and find something that you're looking for, you can filter. They insist on having these tags that I just don't agree with, but I guess.
Well, I think the reason why they've got the tags is that's how they're using it to sort. And they need the tags on there so that, say you put in dental, there's 4 different things for dental, or military. You know, there's a number of different positions within the military or within a field that they want to tag it to bring all those up. And that's the purpose of the tagging, at least for right now. If they were to change the tagging piece, that is, that's going to be very, very costly. Okay. Right at this juncture. Yeah, so you can live with tags. Yeah.
The other thing was that this page will be on here twice. This page right here, so it'll be the login screen, and then I forget where the other spot he wanted to put that, so we were going to do that twice. So I thought that was cool. Hold on, guys, I have to move out the way because I don't want to get a ticket downtown.
That would be good.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get a ticket, so I'm going to move on out the way.
She's ultimate multitasker. She's on the phone. She's moving her car. She's presenting on a screen.
And she's taking care of a resident. You gotta love it. Let me ask a question here, Janae. Is what you're showing to go to this screen, is this what they're saying will be $10,000, or are they able to do just this piece and let it access the back mechanics like we did? Changing color, I know that's not a big deal, right? Going to the blue.
We were at $4,000 with the changes. So that was this screen.
Okay.
And the color. It was a few other things too at 4,000. But I think he was saying if we would have went any high, like we do the milestones and stuff, we were gonna jump up to pretty high if we added more stuff. But I was okay with where we were at. Yeah, but okay. I don't want to present until we're a little further.
Yeah, so let's talk about who your audience is and what kind of feedback you're trying to achieve. Because I've been in the software business for forever, and one of the things that when you're trying to get proof of concept or you're trying to focus on how best to get feedback from your audience, even the screenshots that you have are great places to start. So they've already mocked up enough for you to be able to sit down and have a conversation with somebody. Certainly, if they're receptive and open and what I call friendlies. So the number one thing that I would be looking for is in a meeting, what are you trying to get from the meeting? Because what you're really doing is you're in that middle ground, no man's land, sort of no person's land in tennis, where you've got the great idea. And by the way, I love the idea. It's a fabulous idea. I really appreciate what you're trying to achieve. And so you've got to figure out which groups can you tap into. Even I would look at nonprofits as another way to get your app out there in terms of ideas. But let's just go back to the basics. You got to take what you have and figure out how you can monetize it, and then and more importantly, figure out how you're going to get the feedback that you want. So you're really we got to compartmentalize this conversation to make it effective for you and to help you, in my opinion. So number one is who are the target audience? Who's the person? Is it administrator? Is it a classroom? Is it individuals? What is it? Who you're trying to present to, and what's the expected or desired outcome?
So my desired outcome, like if I could just wave a magic wand, would be to have my app in like every high school.
Okay, sure.
And for the juniors and the seniors, because what I've learned is that every junior and senior has to meet with the guidance counselor so many times throughout the school year as they're, getting ready to plan for the next phase in life. So, I'm like, the ACT prep, maybe we can have something in there that can, for the prep classes, and have the score that's in there. Like, so it's just like, so it's for the high school students as well as the guidance counselors, because the guidance counselors are the ones that have to meet with the students and make plans. So I'm like, what if we had a tab just for the guidance counselors? So that way the kids can be working on what they want to do next. So then when they come and they sit down in front of her, they kind of have an idea and been researching like, well, I was thinking about going into social work, but teachers make more, or it takes too long for this, or I'm not a college person, so I want to take up a trade, because I feel like so many times our students are forced into college and it's like, I didn't like high school. Why am I going to college? So it's like having that other option, like whether they want to start a business, to know how to register your business with the state, how to get an EIN number, like just different things that a lot of our kids don't know.
So the resource concept is gold, right? So so I understand that side of it, but who's the audience you're trying to talk to? So you said something about Nancy's son's school, or
my son he's a principal at a local charter high school.
Okay,
in Janae's areas.
So basically, trying to get feedback from a principal to see what they would do, right? So what he would say, how we would consume that. Because the number one thing that you were struggling with is the concept of the app, because the concept is great, right? So let's literally set that aside. Like, we're good there. We need to tweak it, fix it, make it usable, all that stuff. That's great. But what's really the struggle that you're going to have is mind share in the app space, and mind share for guidance counselors. And so how do you get out there? Because there are going to be literally, I will say, hundreds of competing apps already that do something similar to you. So then the real win here is, how do we get you in front of the right audiences that can take this concept and move it forward if and when you have it. And that's a big if, because you got to get it rebuilt, right? You got to spend more money. You're kind of in this taffy pull with this development group. So what I would love to do is get somebody that can, by showing what you have, and say, this is my vision, this is my idea. But the one thing that's missing is, what's the motivation to take a student, right? So you've got two audiences. You've got the counselors and you got students. What's the motivation for the student to become more self-aware, or be more self-improvement, or focus on their career, right? So you've got that. That's the hurdle that you have to have, because I have 3 daughters and now a bunch of cousins and grandkids. So I know that getting somebody to be personally motivated to figure out their life is also part of the challenge. So they're not going to go to your app. So that's a whole lot to unpack, right? But what I'm trying to get you to is, what you have right now is a concept, and a pretty good proof of concept, and a pretty good app in terms of where you're going, certainly with the new designs. But you have to figure out, how do you get through that gap of getting in front of somebody. So what I would say to you, this is me personally, this is my opinion, having done this for years, is you should take some screenshots, you should take some images, and walk in and say, this is the app current state, here's where it's going, and this is what I'm trying to achieve. But the number one takeaway that I want from you as a principal, or as a guidance counselor, or anybody you can get to, and I have other people I'll introduce you to, is, how do I get these students to use the app to become more aligned with their goals and their vision. And that is the biggest ask you have. And I'm just trying to be as real as I can, because the app concept is solid. The reality is you don't know how to get into that space. And so you need somebody that's going to pull you into that, right? That's either a guidance counselor, or it's a principal. So here's the way I'm, by the way, I'm a recovering accountant. Don't spend any more money now. Let's get somebody to say, buy into this thing so that you can say, here's my heart, here's my vision, because your heart and your vision is all there. So to me, not presenting it is not an option. That's awkward. It's sort of double negatives, right? You have to get in front of somebody, and you have to get in front of people to say, who do you know, right? And so you've got to have not just one person, but you've got to have 3 to 5 people say, who do you know that could take a look at this or could help me craft a vision of how to get it into the hands of these people, right? Because again, just the assumption is the app is there and it works, right? Let's just make that huge assumption. It's a big one, but you still got to go with that. So my huge suggestion is get in front of a couple people. I will introduce you to a lady who has an app that basically helps college students, bridges the gap between high school and college, and helps them find funding, right? So actually, gets money for college and those kinds of things. So I'll introduce you to her because she's, I don't know where she is in Michigan or Detroit or something, but she also has the same challenge, right? So you need to get talking to people that have the same challenge, so you don't feel it's competition. It's collectively trying to help humanity and help students. So those are the 2 things that I would do: get in front of a couple of other people that are already in that space, and look at what people are doing there, and then get to people that have are heart-based individuals, right? Heart-based individuals or charities and other organizations. Like, who serve kids, right? So to me, it's directionally where I'd go. But yeah, don't waste any more time on money and spending on getting your app all prettied up. You got it good enough. Now you got to figure out how you can sell it. Because if you don't figure out how to monetize this thing up front, you're spending money, and I don't want to spend any more of your money without getting that figured out.
Okay, when you were talking, I thought of I know 2 principals, their husband and wife actually, and the wife goes to my church, and then I know my cousin's husband, he works at a high school here as some administrator, and I talked to both of them before about the app, and they all loved it. I know a lady at NPS, and she goes to my church too, and she was Milwaukee Public Schools, and she was interested. I just felt like I never had anything to present to them, so that's why I never approached them about it. Like, I talked about the idea when I first had it, and they all love it. Like, I sent it out to the principal, one of the principals that I know, and he gave me feedback on the landing page that Margot sent us, and everybody loves the idea. It's a girl I went to high school with that's like really into this the budget and stuff with the schools, and I think her name was Aisha Carr, and I reached out to her and asked her about going to lunch so we could talk about it, because she's been talking about the budget and different things like that. She said sure, and we never set a date, and it was like, oh God, okay. And I'm not trying to be pesty to people, so I just don't keep like bothering them, but I'm like, so I've talked to some people and everybody loves the concept, like you said. It's just a matter of trying to and I know the schools have things, but I don't think it's to the level of what I'm saying. Like, I
hear that you want to dig it really deep and create it. But what you have to do in any business in user experience is you have to, as you already figured out, you got to make it so easy, so simple that people can just can run with it. So I like that you've gotten all this feedback, but you've got to be you're your own worst enemy right now. How do I say that with love in my heart, right? Because done is better than perfect, and right now you're done enough. Right. So you're high knowledge, right? You're a very smart individual. You got to get out of your own way, because what happens with high knowledge people and high smart people, it's got to be perfect because you don't want to be embarrassed. So I'm going to ask you to think differently for a second. I'm going to say your energy and your heart and your commitment to helping others and helping students is way more important than the fact the app isn't done. Okay, that's what you have to think. You say, okay, if I'm going to get this out to the world and I'm going to make a difference for somebody else, right? And I'm going to get really raw here. One of the things that you're solving for is teen suicide, right? I mean, I know I know you think about this. You're smart enough to figure this out. So the point is, your heart is in the right place. So what you got to do is say, get your mind out of the way, and say, all right, guys, this isn't perfect, but what I do know is I got to figure out how to get it in people's hands and monetize that, and I need your feedback. And that's what you need to be doing right now, because you don't need to be spending more money, because until you figure out how you're going to turn the heat up and get an early adopter and get people that say, yeah, get it done and I'll build it, then you can say, all right, fine, here's my minimum, what we call minimum viable product. Get the minimum viable product working, and then you can always add, right? So as you get in, again, I don't know how you're going to monetize this. That's a whole nother topic, right? I'm not independently wealthy, so I couldn't do it, right? So I wouldn't want to do that. So those are the three things. I'm going to just repeat myself. One is take what you have in design and say, put it in some form, right? You can do really cool PowerPoints. You can do all kinds of stuff on your phone. Really cool. You can make that happen. Two is you've got to find the early adopters and actually get those calls and say, look, I need your help, right? Being vulnerable, right? Smart people aren't vulnerable. Like, I don't want to be vulnerable, but I'm telling you, you have to do that. Say, I need your help because I am passionate about this project, right? And then people will open up to you, right? Irrespective of the fact that the pages aren't right? Because you're at that place. So that step number 2 is just ask for help, ask for guidance, set those meetings. And step number 3 is talk to your developer and say, find some frickin' way to solve for this, because you basically built an app. And this is, I don't know anything or anybody, any personalities. Like, I don't know anybody. I don't know if the Nancy's brother did this app. I don't know anything, right? What I'm telling you is you got to say, dude, you gave me a less than valuable app. At some point, you got to solve for this. So get me my minimum viable product, fix this thing for, cheap on the upside, and say, and then I'm going to go out and sell it. So we're not going to redesign, but I got to get this thing working to a reasonable minimum viable product. That's what you have to do for me, right? And so then you've taken 3 steps, and then you get 4th step is what we haven't solved for, is I don't know how you're going to make money, right? What does that look like? Are you doing ads or in-placement ads, or people are doing charity, nonprofit sort of sponsorships for this? So those 4 things are what we have to talk through. So Nancy, I'll let you kind of speak to any one of those, and Janae, if you want to just respond to that, would be as well.
So Janae, what I think you need to do is
let Janae talk. Sorry, Nancy, I screwed up. Janae, how do you feel about that?
I just want to. Okay, go ahead, Janae.
No, I totally agree with everything Lorenzo said, and I definitely am in my own head about it, and I want it to be perfect, and I believe that's why I haven't put it out there yet, because I am afraid of, like, no, but I'm like, all they can say is no, so and then that's the one thing I keep thinking about too, is because we have secured funding for the app, but again, it's a loan, so we really do want to start making some money back on it because we have to pay the bill. So I'm going to take your advice, and I'm going to reach out to one of those principals, Nancy's principal, and then we have the worst school in the city. I know that principal, and I really want to reach out to him as well, just to see if he would put a group of kids together for me to just even, maybe I'll do a PowerPoint like you said, because just like Nancy was playing with the app, it's like, I don't want them to download it and it's not doing anything. And it's kind of like,
Oop, you hit mute. There you go. Here's one thing that I want you to do, Janae. I want you to change your verbiage just slightly. When you show somebody the app the way it is right now, it's your working protocol, not the final product.
A prototype,
and just a prototype. And that way it changes somebody's mind about, oh, okay, this is just to show me how it's going to function, right? Mm-hmm. And I agree with you that you don't want to have this on a lot of people's phones right now, but you want them to give you feedback of, I'd like to see this would be great, that, not the aesthetics part so much. So hold your meetings, get the feedback, do them in PowerPoint presentation, do it where you're showing on the phone because you are the expertise on it. Don't worry about what's intuitive and what isn't at this point, but get this excited. Now, the biggest piece is going to be monetizing this. Now, there is a way you can monetize. One thing you can do is you can make it where it's free for everybody, but there's ads in it. Okay. And by just getting ads, you will get some money from advertising. Now, you will not be breaking the bank with advertising. It all depends upon, how much the advertising comes in and the people's usage. I would say, you're going to be less than $100 a month on the advertising. So don't think that that's going to solve your financial hurdle that we've got going on here, right? But what you could do is say for a small dollar amount, it becomes ad free. Okay, it's a model that a lot of people have done, but Calendly in particular has actually built their entire business by giving away their app for free and charging for more features as it goes up. If I had the podcast for you to listen to right offhand, I would tell you this is the one that he goes through this. But do a PowerPoint. If there's any way possible to get all your principals in a room at one time, do that. And I want to say Wybic might let you use one of their rooms for it because you're a Wybic customer. Wybic, by the way, Lorenzo, is the Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative. And so they're right there over in, they're down, I think they're in Schlitz Park. I think that's the area that they're at. But they're in your neighborhood, right? Or, where your principals are and where the people want to be. And invite them in, have coffee, cookies, come on in. Now, your timing right now is that school is coming to an end. Mm-hmm. You might have to do that type of a thing in the summer, but you want to set it up now so that they mark their calendar and get all the principals you can and tell them, invite anybody else that you'd like. I just need to know how many people are coming. Bring a guidance counselor, bring a vice principal, bring some of the teachers. And then you could do this presentation and get the buzz going.
Do you think it would be better, Nancy, to do it with, you said, so all of them, but if I could get a meeting with Milwaukee Public Schools with the guidance counselors, would that be better than trying to put it in front of the students? Because I feel like the guidance counselor is probably just going to give me that it's proof of concept, that it's a good idea. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I feel like I need both sides, where I need the student to tell me what they think, because I've asked people that's in their late 20s and like, oh man, I wish I would have had that when I was in school. Yep. So I'm like, I know the concept is really good, but it's just like trying to find that group that's like, yeah, we want it. We wanted all our students to have it, and I'm like, I want to kick myself in the foot and be like, okay, give me $2 a student when y'all would have paid 10. Like, I don't know. So it's just like, I know nothing about how to monetize the app.
Okay. So first of all, don't be afraid to have more than one meeting. Have a meeting with parents and students. And whenever you're going to have students, try to have parents there as well, because I think that's important. And then have counselors. And then if you want a third meeting later where they're all together, that's fine too. And if you need to, do Milwaukee Public School. And then Christopher, he's not really part of Milwaukee Public School, but maybe you talk to Christopher in some private schools and have them as a separate meeting, because their needs are extremely different. Mm-hmm. And actually getting this in the hands of private schools to start with, you will be able to charge for this kind of service because they have the money. Christopher gets grant money. It's public knowledge that that's how his students are paid for. So he can budget for that. I don't know so much about Milwaukee Public Schools, how financially that always works. But if ever a community needed it, it's Milwaukee Public Schools, right? So you have to find some balance. The other thing that you can do to monetize this is find different industries that can help support this with a donation, like some of the unions, some of the different organizations, like there's Builders Association, Realtor Association, some of these that are food and service associations, and see if they would be able to sponsor this. But you're not ready for that yet.
Right. That's why I was like, what do I say to those people at this point? Because I feel like if I would have had 5,000 users to prove that my concept is working and we are in, 5 different schools at this point, And then I felt like I would be able to go and present to those type of people. But now I just
Right.
be like,
oh, no, don't present to those now. That's bigger picture.
down the line. Okay.
Okay. No, and thank you for asking that, because I want to make sure we're clear. I think your first step is to get principals, guidance counselors, one meeting, students, another meeting. And students, even if you brought in some 20-year-olds into it, they don't have to be active students who can, you need somebody to spark the conversation. And plants in a group is not a bad thing, right? You can even take some of the people you know and plant them with questions to get the conversation started. Say, this is our prototype. This is our vision of where we're going. Thoughts, comments, what would you like to see? And that will help you with your plan. Monitor, and then ask the question too, would you be willing to pay $20 a student? Nope, that's too high. Would you be willing to pay $10 a student? Yep, that's great. Would you be willing to spend and get, you're not saying we will charge for this. You're saying, what are you willing, what value do you see in this? And that will help you there, plus the free version and advertising. I think, and then, like you say, once you've got it in all of MPS, you can go to the Wisconsin Restaurant Association and say, hey, will you help us out? We've got 30,000 students that have this on their device. That's when you start getting sponsors, is after you've got it on your device, devices downloads.
Okay.
Right? Lorenzo, what are your thoughts on that? Are we in the right direction?
Well, certainly the overall conversation has been fabulous. So let me just say that. So you've got some really great steps to grow into, but I'm gonna break it down even more simple. I believe in 30, 60, 90 programming. So 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. In the next 30 days, I'm going to encourage you to do two things, period, two things. One, get the presentation figured out, right? And come back and share it with Nancy and I, and I will happy to look at it and give you thoughts and feedback. So you have to take this feedback today and turn it into something you can share with a proof of concept. And the second thing is have at least two meetings. Because what also happens once you have have something that is presentable, even if it's on paper, the second thing is you language the story by talking to people. And so by just doing the work and talking to two people, even three, if you want to add a third, somebody, if you've got three close friends or friendlies, and start figuring out what you're going to say and the questions, and that will give you the confidence, right? Because you're high knowledge, the confidence to say, all right, now I can go in front of a bigger group. Now I can bring more people together. So I'm going to break it down to you really just got to get over your own hurdle, and that's got to be one-on-one and do the presentation. That's all I want you to do in 30 days. And it could be in 2 weeks, could be 3 days. I don't care how short you make it, but in 30 days, I want to call you up and say, all right, show me the presentation. Who did you talk to, right? Because taking action is the key here. And doing it in a way that's micro for you gives you more comfort, but more importantly, it'll give you confidence. Because now you go, all right, I said this. Yeah, so that's what you need. So, Nancy's ideas are great downstream, but where we are in 30 days, you got to get this presentation done, get in front of 2 to 3 people, and talk the story and figure out what you need to say and what you need to ask and what order you need to say it, what order you need to ask. You just need to get some experience, right? When you're a mom, right? You have kids?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what happened when you had the first kid? I don't know what to do. You had something innate in there that worked for you. It's like having a kid. You got to go, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm sure I'm going to coddle it and hold it and figure it out. Feed it. But that's what you got to do. Pretend your app as a kid and talk to 2 people. Get the story down, right? How big your kid is, what the name, literally pretend you're sharing that kind of story. But it's your app, it's your baby. And honestly, that's what you need right now, period. If you don't have that, you can't go to the big steps, right? Monetization, there's a great monetization ideas here. And I'm not going to muddy the waters. I guess different ways to talk about partnerships, but partnerships is where you can monetize it, selling the app for free and upscaling it, all the things Nancy said are there. You just got to get in front of some people right now, period, and have your story done. So let's keep it down to basics.
That's the scary part. You heard the stuttering when I was saying it to you, when I'm doing a presentation about it. And I'm like, oh God, I got to do better with this.
Well, that's the point. get in front of some friendlies. Look, do it to your husband, boyfriend, mom, dad. I don't care. Do it back to me. In fact, here's the thing. Here's the offer. I will do this. This is my gift. Get it done. You call me up, give me a couple days notice, and I'll get on a call with you. We'll spend another hour one-on-one, and I will make this thing work for you. I do this 24/7, 7 days a week, present. Right?
Okay.
So what I need you to do is get out of your head and get into your heart. Let's talk about it. But get me something to look at.
Okay. I'm making a PowerPoint. That's going to be the first step. I just got to do the PowerPoint. Okay. And then I'm going to reach out to, I don't know which person I'm going to reach out to, but I'm reaching out to somebody to try and set up a meeting. And I would like to do at least one presentation before the school year is over with a group of kids. So that's going to be my next step. But I'm going to do my PowerPoint first, and I'm going to show it to you guys.
So just as an idea, you can do a PowerPoint. We can save it to a PDF, right? A PDF file. And you put it on your phone, and you can swipe it on your phone. It'll look like it's on your phone. You can just swipe it on your phone. So there's ways to make that work. And so it feels mobile. It feels digital, and you can also do it on your desktop. So yeah, this will help you with that stuff too. But take those next steps.
So I'm going to take this one step further. What day are you going to have the PowerPoint done by? See, this is when you said you were going to meet with your friend for lunch. Problem is you didn't put it on the calendar right away.
No, it's her. She's very busy. Like, she's trying to run for something with the school board and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, God.
So what day do you think you're going to have it done?
Today.
Today's the 12th of April.
Okay, so I'm going to get my Surface Pro. I might bring it by when I work at the group home. I'm sitting there in the morning time and they don't do anything in the daytime. So I'm like, I could work on it tomorrow when I'm there. And so I'm going to try and have it done probably by, I would say at the latest, Monday.
Okay, so let's say Wednesday. We're going to give you a couple extra days. Lorenzo, do you have time the next week or the following week?
I can do next week.
Okay. See, there's power to having a date on the calendar to get stuff done.
Okay. Wednesday. I'm gonna have it done by Wednesday.
Okay, so
do it.
Yeah, Wednesday the 20th in the afternoon, or Thursday the 21st in the afternoon I can do.
Okay.
So you get it done and then we'll get on a call.
Okay, and let me do this here to make life just a little bit easier. That is Janae's email address there, Lorenzo. So if you want to send her an invite, so you get something on the calendar that can be moved with the Zoom and whatnot, and then you'll be good to go.
Okay.
Got it.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, this has been a fantastic meeting today.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
was.
Janae, listen to the recording when it's up so that you can grab the pieces that you need. Because I know we threw a lot at you. There's some things that, as Lorenzo said, that are definitely for the future. And more importantly, there's the stuff for the right now. So with that, we are right at the top of the hour. This was perfect. And I want everybody to go off and have an absolutely fabulous day. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Sarah. Bye for now.
Bye.